we're going to talk about the principle of service, the key determinant of everything that happens to you in life. We live in a service economy, serving our fellow man or woman with the things he or she wants, which means that we all live by service, and that only by service can we survive. At every level of our economy, each of us is serving other people. Now, if you were Robinson Crusoe and you lived on an island by yourself, what you produced would be what you consumed. In other words, if you wanted to fish, you would catch fish. If you wanted a hut, you would build a hut. But your production would equal your consumption. All the universe is maintained in balance, and what you put in, you get out in exactly the same measure. For every bit of effort you put in, there is a reward that comes out. For every good that you do, a good will come out. For every evil that you do, an evil will come out in complete and perfect balance. Wherever I've seen an unhappy, unsuccessful person in life, almost invariably, you will see a person who is trying to get on the wrong end of the law of sowing and reaping. They are sowing bad in their relationships, sowing laziness in their work, and they cannot understand why they reap unhappiness and frustration in their lives. In every single area of life, this law of sowing and reaping seems to explain with complete accuracy what is happening to us. We know that in the great flow of life, we always have to put the seed in first before we get the crop, and whatever seed we put in the ground, that's going to determine whether the harvest is going to be. Whatever you sow in your relationships, you reap in your relationships. We know that children are largely the reflection of their parents' treatment of them. If you raise children with dignity and love and self-respect and praise and approval and encouragement, you will have positive, self-confident, happy, successful children. And if you criticize them and condemn and complain and harp at them continually, you'll have children with low self-concepts, poor self-images, with a lack of self-confidence, who will get into all kinds of troubles in life. Whatever you sow in your work, whatever you sow in your profession, whatever you sow in your business, you will reap in your rewards. The number of hours that you put in, the quality and quantity of service that you give to others will always determine your rewards. And if you wish to increase those rewards, as we say, you can always focus on what is under your complete control, the quality and the quantity of your efforts. Wherever you see individuals or groups who increasingly demand greater rewards for less service, you see the sowing of the seeds of financial and economic disaster. The winners in life focus on putting in as much as they can, knowing that the crop will always follow. Now, this is interesting because it's not the principle of sowing and reaping. It's not the principle of compensation. It's called the law of sowing and reaping. It is the law of compensation. It is the law of cause and effect. What it simply says is that the more that you put in, the more you will get out, by law, not by accident. Well, how does this apply to a business? For the purpose of a business is to create and serve a customer. How many people say the purpose of a business is to make a profit? But no, the purpose of a business is to create and serve a customer with goods and services at a price above the cost of production of those goods and services. And the result of successfully serving a customer with the goods and services that he or she wants is a profit. Clearly identifying your customers is one of the most important things that you can do in terms of increasing the value of your services. Virtually all market research is aimed at telling companies exactly who their customer is. In an external marketplace, a manager, in effect, has three customers. The first customer is his boss, who has put him in that position. The second customer is his staff, the people who have been appointed to him to help him achieve the objectives of the function. And the third customer is the person who must use what you produce. At the very least, you must always satisfy this customer, the one who must use your work. You can achieve all of your goals in life if you'll just find enough different ways to achieve the goals of enough other people. And the more ideas you can have on how to serve more people better, the more ideas you have on how to enrich the lives of others, the more prosperous and successful you will be. The law of service says that we fulfill ourselves as human beings to the degree to which we lose ourselves in serving others. helping others and improving the lives of others take us back, of course, to our principle of excellence, that you can only be successful doing what you do in an excellent fashion. I'm always surprised when I see companies that spend an enormous amount of money advertising to bring people in the door and then have them served with indifference and surely serving people. Restaurants that spend an enormous amount of money to get you to try them out and then put little portions of poorly prepared food on the plate. It's absolutely amazing how much money is spent in advertising on the one at the end to get customers who try the business once and then go away and never come back. In fact, if you can become excellent in customer service, if you can become excellent at treating people like kings, then you can open almost any kind of business and you'll be successful. Remember, we're all in the business of customer satisfaction. The basic rule for starting a new business is, and has always been, find a need and fill it. Find something that people need. Find something that consumers need that nobody else is offering them. Or find something that you can give to them that's better, cheaper, and faster in service. Remember, everything that you do in life that increases your ability to render useful service to others increases your value in the world. It increases the quality and quantity of the seeds that you are sowing, and it must eventually increase the quality and quantity of the harvest that you are reaping. The greatest men and women in history are those who dedicated their lives to service. In fact, true greatness only seems to emerge when we are totally absorbed in doing something that benefits other people. Anyone who thinks that they have an idea for a newer, better, faster, cheaper way to serve others is free to enter the marketplace and try. We are one of the few societies in the world where every time someone has an idea where they can serve customers with something that they need in a way that they're not being served already, they can enter into the marketplace and offer it. And whenever you see successful business, you should stand up and applaud, because all successful business is based on somehow giving people something more than they had before. Most entrepreneurial fortunes began with a man or a woman who saw some need that wasn't being met and who successfully entered the market and met it. Look at the success of the hundreds of thousands of men and women who have built great organizations and corporations in the last 200 years of American history. Every one of them based on somehow serving others with things that they couldn't get before. All your wealth will come from productivity, from finding better ways to serve others. And the harder you work serving others, the more successful you will be, and the harder you work serving others, the happier you will be. The average self-made millionaire works over 60 hours per week. You can tell where you're going to be in 3 to 5 years by simply noting the number of hours you work. If you're only working 8 hours a day, you're simply staying in place, and heaven help you if the economy doesn't turn down and you lose your job, because then you sink very quickly. Remember, you've got to get into the top 20%, and it's a race because the competition is becoming more and more fierce in our competitive society. You must work harder than the average to do better than the average, and much harder than the average to do much better than the average. And you must work hard, hard, hard for years. The average age of self-made millionaires in America is 57. Believe it or not, and most of those people made the bulk of their fortunes after the age of 40. Now, you can start when you're 20 and work very, very hard and develop an expertise and make yourself extremely valuable, and you'll be wealthy a lot earlier, but takes at least 20 years of unrelenting effort to achieve financial security in life. And the sooner you start, the sooner you accomplish it. And as you know, most people never start at all. A self-made millionaire was interviewed by Success magazine a couple of years ago, and he was asked his secret of success. And he said, "The one secret that I can contribute is always do more than you're paid for." It's a well-known rule for financial success. Always do more than you're paid for. Always put in more than you take out. Always leave more value in than you take out of it. Go the extra mile, practice overcompensation, put yourself on the side of the angels by working more and working harder, and working longer than anybody else. Go early, work harder, stay later, work weekends if necessary, work evenings. And if you can't work on your job, work on yourself. The harder you work, The luckier you get, said one self-made millionaire, and the better you get too when you work hard. Hard, you get better and better in your field. But if you don't work very much, then you don't achieve very much. Remember, the greatest joy and happiness in life goes to those who are fully engaged in work that makes a difference, work that serves and enriches and improves the lives of other people. And finally, serving others, feeling needed and valuable, builds your self-esteem. It causes you to like yourself and improves every aspect of your personality.